Not long ago, I tested this Honda Civic eHev and I was very impressed. Not with the handling or the looks or the performance, which are all pretty decent. I was impressed by the fuel economy. Yes, in my hands, this car managed an astonishing 80 miles per gallon. And that got me thinking, could a really efficient full hybrid like this actually be cheaper to run than an electric car?
First of all, here's how it works. Honda's new eHev hybrid powertrain uses a 2-litre petrol engine and 2 electric motors. The first acts as a generator to send electricity into the second motor to drive the wheels, or into a lithium-ion battery pack. The engine can drive the wheels directly or with the help of the motors and the battery. Because the petrol engine isn't working alone, the idea is that it doesn't have to work as hard or use as much petrol.
The official MPG figure in this car is 56.5 miles per gallon WLTP. If you know anything about WLTP though, then you know that it's very difficult normally in the real world to achieve anywhere close to that number. Normally you get a lot lower. However, in the Honda Civic eHev, it is incredibly easy to get more than what they claim WLTP. Driving around normal roads at 30 miles an hour, this thing can very easily achieve between 60 and 80 miles per gallon. That's incredible. How does it compare with other cars, specifically electric and plug-in hybrid?
First, here's what the Civic itself costs to run. This latest model has a smallish 40-litre fuel tank, that's 8.4 UK gallons. At today's fuel price of 148.4 pence per litre, it costs £59.36 to fill. At a conservative and realistic 60 miles per gallon over the course of 1 year, doing 10,000 miles a year, your total cost for fuel will be £1,124. At the less likely, but still possible 80 miles per gallon, that cost is £843. So what about plug-in hybrids? Well, they're quite tricky to compare and give you wildly different fuel economy depending on how you drive them. In the case of the Vauxhall Astra plug-in hybrid, you can apparently get a whopping 256 miles per gallon. In the case of the DS4, 230 miles per gallon. Sounds impressive, right?
But hold up a second. These figures are basically nonsense. Realistically, all you're going to manage in the real world is 80 to 150 miles per gallon, and that's only if you have charge in the battery. If you have a home charger, that's fine. If you don't have one of these, well then you're in trouble. Realistically, you're more likely to manage somewhere between 30 to 45 miles per gallon, which means plug-in hybrid figures aren't all they're cracked up to be.
If you use a plug-in hybrid correctly and plug it in every single night at home or every single day at the office, a full battery can help you get extraordinary running costs. In the case of the Astra, delivering its claimed and very ambitious 256 miles per gallon at today's fuel prices, it'll cost you £263.56 per year in petrol. But then there's the cost of charging the 12.4 kilowatt-hour battery pack, which done overnight on a tariff of 16.09 pence per kilowatt-hour is £1.99 a day, or £764 including 5% VAT, plus the £263.56 for the petrol, that's £1,028 a year, best case, or £185 more than the Civic. Worst case, if you don't plug in your plug-in hybrid, which could lead to low economy of around 35 miles per gallon, it's £1,927.51 per year in petrol.
So, how does an electric car compare to our Honda Civic eHev? Well, I've got a Mercedes EQS 53 next to me, very fancy, not comparable in terms of price, but how do they compare in terms of efficiency? Well, I've got some notes here in my trusty notebook, and it says here that the Mercedes will do 358 miles on a single charge, and the battery is 107 kilowatt hours. You measure the efficiency of an electric car in miles per kilowatt hour, and if you combine those two figures, what you end up with is this car doing 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour, which is what I normally experience in most EVs. I tend to average somewhere around 3 miles per kilowatt hour. Now, let's do some more maths. In the UK, the average standard single metering rate for electricity is 32.42 pence per kilowatt hour, excluding VAT. Each provider can then apply a discount of their choosing, especially if they offer an economy 7 tariff, which means you get cheaper electricity at night as opposed to more expensive electricity during the daytime. If you don't have an economy 7 tariff for some reason and you're using the standard rate, then you're going to be spending £1,080 charging this electric car. And if you add the VAT, that's £1,296, way worse than a Honda Civic EHEV.
That's the worst case home charging scenario. If you only ever charge your EV from a public charge point, things are even worse. According to ZapMap, the average price for rapid and ultra rapid charging, or speeds above 25 kilowatts, is 73 pence per kilowatt hour, which works out to be £2,433 per year over 10,000 miles, more than double the cost of running the Civic EHEV. Let's go for best case, charging only from an economy 7 tariff, specifically one for electric car drivers. Here, things are a bit better for the EV. Let's use the same 16.09 pence per kilowatt hour night rate that I use for the plug-in hybrid, which incidentally is what I was quoted from Octopus Energy. Driving 10,000 miles a year at 3 miles per kilowatt hour, that's the equivalent of using 3,333.3 kilowatt hours. Multiply that by 16.09 pence, and you get £562 in electrical fuel costs every year, including VAT at 5%. Cheaper than the best case scenario for the Civic, but only by £281 a year or £23 a month. Using the more realistic 60 mile per gallon economy figure, an EV's running cost is roughly half if charged at home, but £1,309 worse every year if charged exclusively from a rapid charger. Don't do this. Of course, there are other factors to consider. EVs generally cost more to buy than hybrids, so you'll save money on fuel but pay more for the car. The cheapest Civic, for example, is £32,000. The cheapest Tesla Model 3 is approximately £42,000. Paying off that 10 grand difference using the £23.25 a month running cost saving might take you about 36 years.
It's interesting, isn't it? We're constantly told that the most efficient cars are full battery electric or plug-in hybrid, and normal quote-unquote hybrids often don't get the same amount of love. They're just not as cool. However, having done the maths, it would appear that a normal hybrid like this Honda Civic is definitely worth considering, depending on how you drive it.
Now, this is a very deep topic, and it's fair to say that all 3 types of car, hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and full EV, have their place and will suit different needs in different scenarios. EVs are also greener at a tailpipe level and have lower maintenance costs. What is clear, however, is that there's no definitive solution, and all 3 of these options are a solid, economical, and greener alternative to pure petrol. Let us know what you think of this video in the comments below, hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to watch our full review of the Civic. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching.